Leonardo da Vinci was born in the year 1452. He was born in a small village in Italy called Vinci. This village had green hills, quiet rivers, and many trees. It was a peaceful place. Leonardo was not born into a rich family. His mother and father were not married. At that time, this was seen as a problem. People looked at him as someone different. But even as a little boy, Leonardo was very special. He was full of questions and full of dreams. Leonardo lived with his grandparents. His mother moved to another town. His father was often busy, so Leonardo spent a lot of time alone. But he did not feel sad all the time. Instead, he started to notice the world around him. He watched birds fly in the sky. He looked at how water moved in the river. He saw how leaves danced in the wind. He did not have toys, but he had his eyes, his mind, and his heart. These were his best tools. From a young age, Leonardo loved to draw. At first, he used a stick to draw shapes in the dirt. Later, he found old pieces of paper or wood. He used charcoal or small bits of chalk. He did not draw like other children. His pictures had more detail. He tried to show how birds moved their wings or how a cat walked. He looked closely at everything. Drawing helped him understand the world. Leonardo asked many questions. Why do birds fly? Why do stars shine? Why does water move the way it does? Sometimes, people could not answer his questions. But he kept asking. His grandfather had a few books. These books were about math, art, and science. Leonardo read them again and again. Even if he did not understand all the words, he tried to learn something new every day. One day, Leonardo made wings from paper and sticks. He tied them to his arms. He climbed a small hill and jumped. Of course, he did not fly. He fell. But he laughed. He was not sad. He said to himself, "One day I will understand how to fly." This moment showed something important. Leonardo did not give up when things went wrong. He kept trying. He believed in his dreams. Leonardo also liked to make small things with his hands. He carved animals from wood. He gave them to people in the village. A woman once cried when he gave her a small bird made of olive wood. She said it reminded her of her son who had gone to war. Leonardo did not know what to say, but he understood something powerful. Art could bring feeling. Art could touch the heart. Sometimes Leonardo felt different. He did not play the same games as other boys. He was quiet. He thought a lot. But being different was not bad. It helped him see the world in a new way. He was not trying to be better than others. He was just trying to understand more. At night, Leonardo would lie in bed and look at the stars. He would whisper, "There must be a reason for everything." He wanted to know the truth behind the world. He wanted to learn how everything worked. This desire to learn stayed with him all his life. Leonardo da Vinci did not have an easy childhood, but he had something more important than comfort. He had curiosity. He had imagination. He had the heart of a dreamer, and that made all the difference. His story began in a small village, but his ideas would one day reach the whole world. When Leonardo da Vinci was 14 years old, his father made an important decision. He sent Leonardo to the city of Florence. Florence was very different from Vinci. It was full of music, art, and learning. The streets were busy, and people talked about new ideas every day. For Leonardo, this place felt like magic. It was the perfect city for a young boy who wanted to learn everything. Leonardo became an apprentice in the workshop of a famous artist named Andrea del Verrocchio. In the workshop, there were many students. They painted pictures, made statues, mixed colors, and learned from their master. The air smelled of paint, and the rooms were filled with the sound of tools shaping wood and stone. Leonardo did not say much, but he watched everything. He listened. He practiced. He worked very hard. Leonardo was a fast learner. He wanted to know how light touched a face, how shadows moved, and how muscles worked under the skin. He didn't just copy other artists. He wanted to understand the truth behind what he saw. Every day, he tried something new. His hands learned to mix colors, hold a brush, and shape marble. His mind stayed curious, always asking, why and how? One day, Verrocchio was painting a large picture of Jesus and asked Leonardo to help. He gave Leonardo the job of painting an angel. Leonardo worked carefully. He painted the angel with soft light, clear eyes, and gentle hands. When Verrocchio saw the painting, he was surprised. The angel was so beautiful that it seemed alive. Some people say that Verrocchio never painted again because Leonardo's work was better. Whether this is true or not, it showed that Leonardo was becoming a great artist. At night, when other students went to bed, Leonardo stayed in the workshop. He lit a small candle and opened his notebooks. He drew birds, machines, faces, and animals. He dreamed of flying and building things to help people. His notebooks were full of new ideas. He even wrote from right to left, like a mirror. Some think he did this to hide his ideas. Maybe he just found it easier because he was left-handed. Leonardo did not only care about painting. He wanted to understand the world. He studied how people walked, how animals moved, and how rivers flowed. He started to design machines. Some were for farming, some were for fun. Some were dreams that people could not build at that time. But Leonardo liked to dream big. He wanted to create things that were useful and beautiful. One day, he built a small bird with wooden wings that could flap. It could not fly, but it looked like it could. He gave it to a little boy in the market. The child smiled and said, "It looks real." Leonardo smiled back. In that moment, he felt happy. He saw that his work could bring joy. Leonardo also helped other students in the workshop. One student named Marco felt sad because his drawings were not good. He wanted to quit. But Leonardo said, "You don't have to be perfect. You only need to be curious." Marco stayed, and with time, he got better. Leonardo believed that everyone could learn if they tried. In Florence, Leonardo learned something very important. Art and science are not separate. They are connected. When you look at the world closely, you can see both beauty and truth. He learned that asking questions, trying new things, and never giving up were the keys to becoming great. His time in Florence changed his life. He learned from great artists. He made his first real paintings. He filled his notebooks with ideas. Most of all, he found his voice. He knew now that he wanted to be more than a painter. He wanted to be a thinker, an inventor, and a person who helped others see the world in a new way. As Leonardo da Vinci grew older, more and more people began to know his name. He was no longer just a boy with questions. He became a great artist, a smart thinker, and a man full of ideas. People asked him to paint pictures, to design buildings, and even to make plans for machines. But Leonardo was not interested in fame or money. He was interested in learning. He wanted to understand how the world worked. He moved to the city of Milan. There, he worked for a powerful man called the Duke of Milan. While in Milan, Leonardo painted one of his most famous works. It was a large painting on a wall. The painting was called The Last Supper. It showed Jesus sitting at a table with his 12 friends. Jesus had just told them that one of them would betray him. Each person in the painting looked different. Some were surprised. Some were confused, some looked hurt. Leonardo showed their feelings with great care. He used light and space to make the picture feel real. People had never seen anything like it before. Leonardo did not stop with art. He wanted to learn more about the human body. He opened the bodies of animals and people to study them. He drew muscles, bones, and hearts. He wanted to know how the body moved and how it worked. He studied plants, water, air, and stars. He drew machines that could fly. He designed bridges and water pumps. Some of his ideas were too early for his time, but they showed how creative he was. He believed that art and science could work together. He believed that beauty and knowledge were connected. Later in life, Leonardo moved to France. The King of France, Francis I, invited him to live there. The king gave him a nice home near a quiet river. Leonardo was treated with great respect. He did not need to work for money anymore. Instead, he spent his time drawing, thinking, and teaching. He loved to walk in the gardens, watch the birds, and look at the sky. He kept working on his painting, the Mona Lisa. This was a picture of a woman with a calm, secret smile. He did not give this painting away. He kept it with him until the end of his life. He always looked at it, always changed small things. He once said, "Art is never finished. It is only left behind." For Leonardo, every work could always be better. He was always searching, always learning. Even in his old age, Leonardo helped others. One day, he saw a child trying to build a toy bridge from sticks. Leonardo sat beside him. He showed him how to make the base strong and the sides steady. "Check your balance," he said. The child smiled. It was a small lesson, but it meant a lot. It was not only about bridges. It was about life. Leonardo also taught others about the world. He told them to look closely at nature. He said, "If you look, you will see how everything is connected." He believed that the world was full of wonder. He believed that people could learn something new every day. When Leonardo died in 1519, he left behind more than paintings. He left thousands of pages filled with drawings, ideas, and questions. He showed the world that you can be both an artist and a scientist. He showed that curiosity is powerful. He reminded people that asking questions is the first step to finding answers. Leonardo da Vinci's life teaches us something important. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be curious. You need to be brave enough to wonder and kind enough to share what you learn. If you are learning English today or learning anything at all, remember Leonardo. He started as a quiet boy in a small village, but he became one of the greatest minds the world has ever known. And it all began with one simple thing, the desire to learn. Leonardo da Vinci's story is one of the most inspiring journeys in human history. He was not born rich or powerful. He was not given every chance. But he had something very strong inside him. He had curiosity. He had a love for learning, and he never stopped asking questions. From a small village called Vinci, Leonardo grew up looking at birds, rivers, and the sky. He did not go to school like other children, but he learned from the world around him. He used his eyes, his heart, and his imagination. He turned simple things into great ideas. When he went to Florence, he became a student in a famous workshop. There, he learned the skills of painting and sculpture, but he also began to think bigger. He started designing machines, writing secret notes, and helping others. He believed that art and science could live together, and he used both to make the world more beautiful and more interesting. As an adult, he painted amazing works like The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. He studied the human body, the movement of water, and the way birds fly. He made plans for flying machines, bridges, and cities. He worked hard, day and night, not for money or fame, but for understanding. Even in his last years, he continued to explore and teach. He stayed curious until his final day. So, what can we learn from Leonardo da Vinci? We learn that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be curious. You need to ask questions, try new things, and keep going even when it's hard. You don't need to know everything. You just need to be willing to learn. That is the real power. In today's world, you can follow Leonardo's example. Be curious. Try something new. Learn a little bit every day. Maybe you are learning English now. That is already a big step. Like Leonardo, you are choosing to grow. Keep going and don't stop. And now, congratulations. You just listened to and understood a full English story. That means you have improved your English skills today. That is a big achievement. You should feel proud of yourself. Here's a small quiz to test your listening and understanding. What did Leonardo love to do when he was a child? A. Play games in the village. B. Watch birds and draw pictures. Write your answer in the comments, A or B. Let us know. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel to support us. Your support gives us motivation to create more stories like this for you. We are still in the early stages and making quality content is not easy. We are doing this for free to help you learn English in a fun way. If you want to help us grow and continue, please consider donating. Every little bit helps us keep going and make more beautiful content for you and other learners. Thank you so much for learning with us today. See you in the next story.